Ladies and gentlemen, Kocosports.com, Wrestle AM back on the air. Of course, sexy spin on all of it is Wrestling Radio. Boom, boom, here, shaking the room, live from Richmond, Virginia, and way there across the pond, the man broadcasting his beautiful baritone voice in the dead of night. LK, what's up, guys?
Oh, good evening, good evening, good evening. We're back with another Royal Rumble preview show. I'm going to be honest with you straight off the bat. We did slightly talk about this on the NXT Takeover preview show, which you should go watch. And with the pay-per-view profits, what we do is I have a little notepad here, and I jot down Boom's, I jot down mine, and I write down everyone's predictions. And you have closing time will be the minute the Royal Rumble pay-per-view begins. So you can put in the comments. You can put in the live comments as well, who you think will win each individual match, and also there'll be tiebreakers, which means it'll force you to watch the whole entire damn video, which is an interesting one, because we're little scroungers and little bastards. But it's exciting, and then after the Royal Rumble will air, myself and Sammy will be reviewing the show, and I will announce who is the Kocosports.net Royal Rumble 2017 pay-per-view profits, and that you can take to the bank and claim nothing. But I'm excited for the Rumble in general. I'm actually more excited for the Royal Rumble than NXT TakeOver, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous because that means you could come on here and I could be like, oh, you know what, NXT TakeOver was so good. I wasn't very excited, but it blew me away. Royal Rumble, I was excited because it was kind of that, pardon me and Dave for a while, me, you and Dave, it has to be good mentality, and that's the kind of mentality I'm going with. It's the Royal Rumble, it tends to be good, and I'm very much excited for it. I'm generally really excited. And also I have, from this Friday to next Friday, I have off. So tomorrow or Thursday, if you're watching post-live, might already be on holiday, but if you're watching live, tomorrow will be my last day of work for a week off. And I'm mega fucking excited for that. So really pumped, really excited for the Rumble. And these predictions will be very, very interesting. And I'm wondering what the tiebreaker questions will be. But throughout the show, we'll get to live comments post-show. Booms, let's get this rocking and rolling because there should be about 25 matches considering the show is 6 hours in length.
Oh, I know. Of course, if you never played pay-per-view profits with us before, it's very simple. We're going to list off the matches. You're going to tell us who you think is going to win. If you get your pick correct, you get a point. In the pay-per-view, the person with the most points is the winner and therefore the pay-per-view profit. So I'm going to try to get through this a little bit quicker here than what we did the NXT, because NXT there was only 5 matches. With this, there's significantly more. This is going to be a long match. This is one of the 4 main shows that WWE does every year. This kicks off the road to Wrestlemania. So without further ado, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and count the kickoff shows here. First, we're going to have some tag team action here. We're going to have Cesaro and Sheamus defending the WWE RAW Tag Team Championships against the Club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. God, this is tough here. I'm gonna go with the champions. I don't think they're gonna do any big shakeups on the pre-show, so I'm gonna go with Cesaro and Sheamus.
I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm going to go with the Club. I think that this is the Club's time. I think they're going to win the tag titles here. I think that Cesaro and Sheamus are then going to go on to the Royal Rumble, and I think Cesaro is going to have a really, really good Royal Rumble this year, and there may be a start of a mini little push for him heading into Mania, maybe a US title match, depending on if Jericho and Owens continue their rivalry at Mania, if they start their rivalry, and heading to WrestleMania. But I think the Club are going to get the win. I think they're then going to treat them properly, and I think at Mania we'll probably get a multi-man Raw match, multi-team Raw match, but I think this is the chance. Now's your time. You had the Club look strong a few weeks ago when you had them defeat Cesaro and Sheamus and almost become tag champs. Now do it for real. Pull the trigger. Make these guys the Raw tag team champs. So my prediction is the Club.
All right. Next, and this is another pre-show match. This is, you're going to have Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks. Again, I'm going to play it safe. I'm thinking I'm going to go with the Boss. I'm going to go with Sasha Banks. I just think she's a fan favorite. And they're going to, I don't know, they've been building up Nia Jax as a monster, but I think the Boss has got what it takes to bring her down.
If this was NXT, I would be like, Nia Jax is the monster heel. She's dominant. Let's have Nia Jax get the win. Nia Jax will win.
How does her song go again?
I'm not like most girls. I haven't heard that in ages. I normally go for a piss when she comes out. Anyway, Sasha Banks, I think, will get the win. So we're the same here. I think Sasha Banks will get the win because it's WWE and they always have their big stars get the win. And because I had the club win the opener, that's the heel, I'd have Sasha Banks the face win the next one. And I think Sasha Banks going into Mania will be involved in the title. Will, but that's obviously a lot left to be determined. But I think Banks will get the win here. And I think it's just because it's kind of a mini little story going on where the heel's been really dominant of Sasha Banks. So Sasha Banks can finally get the comeuppance, get the receipt. But where will Nia Jax go from there? And this is what I think, okay? This is what I think, because this is a prediction. I think post-match, Emelina will attack Sasha Banks.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction right there. I'm thinking I may hold off on Emelina till like the next Monday. But hey, you could be right. You could be absolutely, because that could be a hell of a cliffhanger. Hey, Emelina's finally debuted. Oh my God, how crazy is it going to get on the pay-per-view? Go ahead and buy the WWE Network if you haven't already. And by the way, if you want to watch this, and even if you don't like, if you're not a hardcore wrestling fan, I would recommend getting the subscription to the WWE Network because that's $10. If you want to buy it on pay-per-view, it's $45. If you just want to get it standard definition, you're going to spend an extra $10 if you want to get in HD. So I'd get the network.
If you can't afford the network, stream it. But don't buy the pay-per-view, please. Don't do that to yourself. Don't pay $45 or $55 for a fucking WWE event.
All right. Next year, we actually get into the Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself. We're gonna have some SmackDown women's action here. We have the Bad Girls, Alexa Bliss. She's the SmackDown Women's Champion, teaming up with the returning Mickie James and Natalya, taking on the trio of Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi. I'm going to go with the Bad Girls on this one. I just feel like you need to have them win because you're going to need to get some heat on them. And besides, if they lose, you've got really no place to go. But if they win, you've got you've still got the feud between Bliss, James, and against Becky Lynch. You got Natty and Nikki Bella need to continue their feud. So I think this is going to really get everything heated up going into Mania, so I'm going to go with the Bad Girls.
I really don't give a shit about this. This is the first time on this show that we've talked about a match. I just don't give a shit about it. They did a piss poor job of building towards this six woman. Sorry, I generally couldn't give a fuck. Like, okay, it's Mickie James. Okay, it's Alexa Bliss, and yeah, she's been a great SmackDown Women's Champion. But what have they done to build this? I think that the heels will win because I think they're going to make Mickie James look very strong. But at the same time, Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch have been beaten and battered and bruised, so they need to get their receipt. They have to get their victory for the purpose of the story. Mm-hmm. But if they're going to continue these feuds, which I think they're going to do, they have to have the heels go over. So I'm going to agree with you on this one again, and I'm going to go for the heels who win this. So I think Mickie James, Alexa Bliss, and Natalya get the win.
Okay. Next, we have the WWE Cruiserweight Championship is on the line. Rich Swann defending against Neville. Wow, looking at this, I got to go with Neville, man. He's just been on a roll. He's come back with a vengeance, and I think if you just have him lose right there to Rich Swann, first title defense, it just kills all his momentum. And I really felt like the Cruiserweight Championship would benefit by having Neville's the championship. I never thought he could be a good bad guy. Good God, I was fucking wrong. And I love him as a bad guy. I love the attitude, love the new look. It's absolutely amazing, I think. And plus, I think the Cruiserweights would probably benefit from a chase, from trying, who can pluck Neville out of the air. I think that would make things a little interesting. And to make that happen, Neville, he's going to have to win. So, new champion, Neville at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm going Neville. I think everyone will agree with Neville on this one. Mm-hmm. And I think at Mania, we're going to get Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight title. That's my prediction for Mania. I think we will get Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight title. And I think that will be a really good match. But I agree with what you said there. They could do the build and the chase, like, what babyface can beat him? Because they're all kind of babyfaces, minus Noam Dar and Daivari. They're all freaking babyfaces.
Mm-hmm. So he's got plenty of challengers.
Exactly.
He's
You
got
could do
plenty of
Cedric
people.
Alexander. They could do Tony Nese, who's not really a heel or anything. They could do the Mustafa Ali. They could do Rich Swann. There's TJ. I'm going for a fucking P. There's loads of challenges they could do. So I think it's smart to have Neville as champ. Plus, he's really good at the moment of getting heel heat. So my prediction is Neville getting the win and becoming the new Cruiserweight champ.
All right, now we have another championship match. It's for the WWE Raw's Women's Championship. You have Charlotte Flair, versus my homegirl Bayley. Interesting thing here. I believe Charlotte is actually 15-0 at defending her championships at pay-per-views. I think that was a stat.
Yeah.
She's undefeated. From what I've read, they're wanting to. This is going to be their money match for Mania, and I think Bayley needs to go in the challenger. And I think they're going to keep Charlotte's undefeated streak alive. So as much as I love Bayley, I'm going to go with the champion Charlotte.
You know what? I think that you're right. But much like on our NXT TakeOver San Antonio preview show on predictions, I'm going to go with my heart. And it's not who I want. And it's difficult because on the main roster, I mean, it's not difficult who I want to win. Because it's more of what I think. I think that they'll think it'll be a great moment to have Bayley win the belt at Rumble in the Alamo Dome. I think that they'll make that a big highlight reel. So I think that they'll have Bayley win the belt. And I think what they might do at Mania this time is a three-way between Bayley, Charlotte, and Banks. That's what I think they're going to do at Mania. So you can have Charlotte say, hey, look, I have a rematch. Banks is like, hey, I'm not like most girls. Three-way. I really think it's going to be a three-way. I wouldn't be sad if it's Charlotte versus Bayley or Charlotte versus Banks or Banks versus Bayley. I wouldn't be sad if it's a one-on-one. But I just see Bayley getting the win because it's WWE. They like their moments. They're not a wrestling company. They're a moment company. They love their moments. And that could be a moment. But
yeah, you could be right. You could be.
I think, though, at the same time, looking at it from okay, I'm writing this, I would, of course, have Charlotte retain. You want that moment with Bayley to win after she's tried and failed to the point where she's questioning herself if she can succeed or not and says, look, give me one more shot or I'll go over to SmackDown, and then she wins. But I think Bayley will get the win because they're a moment company and they love those moments, and this could be a moment. So I think they'll go Bayley, get the win there.
Of course, you pointed out something, whether you meant to or not, but we're actually booking this from the point of, we're using logic. We're thinking about things where WWE doesn't necessarily do that. So maybe that's a handicap for us, that we're actually using logic when we're laying all this stuff out. Next, the WWE Universal Championship on the line. The champ Kevin Owens defending against Roman Reigns. Owens' buddy Chris Jericho, he will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage, so to prevent any outside interference. I'm going to tell you straight up, I've got Kevin Owens winning this because I think just because you got Chris Jericho, above the ring in a shark cage doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to be able to interfere. I think he's going to bring some kind of weapon. There's going to be a ref bump. He's going to reach, it's going to be something. It's got to be something like, I don't know, like a lead pipe or something, and he just drops it, or maybe like a roll of quarters, lug nuts, powder, just something. He's going to drop it. Kevin Owens is going to get a hold of it. He's going to use it against the challenger, and Kevin Owens will retain.
This is a tough one. I'm so glad you picked that so easily and quickly. I think that in my brain, I've had this laid out for a couple of days. Strangely, the cage lowers itself after 10, 20 minutes. The cage lowers itself. Jericho comes out, ref bumps. Jericho comes out. It's a 2-on-1 brawl. Reigns, though, takes out Jericho because he's Superman. Takes out Kevin Owens. And then Samoa Joe comes in, low blow, muscle buster to Reigns. Drags Owens on top. 1, 2, 3. Your high-profiled Roman Reigns match can be Samoa Joe versus Reigns at Mania. Owens retains, but who would he face? But at the same time, I think they could go Reigns versus Goldberg at the pay-per-view, at Mania, sorry, because I think Goldberg could win the Rumble. So I think they could do Reigns versus Goldberg. I really, really don't know. And it's Reigns as well, so there's always a possibility he'll win. There is always that possibility he could win because it's fucking Roman Reigns. And that's a dirty thing to say. And I'm ashamed to say it, but it's true. I think that Kevin Owens will lose, but I don't want to believe that Reigns will win so much. I really don't want him to win. He can't. I really think that Owens will win due to dusty finish or something on those lines. But then Jericho could drop a lead pipe down. Owens goes to catch it. Reigns, though, Superman punches Owens. Reigns uses the lead pipe because, think about it, Owens has retained the championship all these times because Jericho helped him. Now Jericho helps. That's how Owens loses the belt. So the story of his whole entire reign is Jericho. And then
then you can have Owens versus Jericho at Mania.
Yeah, they could do that. This is a very difficult one to pick. But if I put Roman Reigns' name down, I will want him to win because I want to win pay-per-view profits. So with that in mind, it's a 50-50 split from me. I'm going to go Kevin Owens.
Oh, okay. All right. Next here, we have the WWE Championship on the line. AJ Styles versus John Cena.
Again, this is tough. Again, it's tough.
Okay. John Cena is going to be a 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. It's just going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen whether we like it or not. WWE did it last year. They made Roman Reigns the champion whether we wanted it to happen or not. It happened. I mean, WWE has a nasty habit of shoving things down our throats. Right now, the question is not if John Cena is going to be the WWE champion. It's going to be when is he going to be the WWE champion, because I guarantee you they're giving him at least one more title run. Hell, they may give him 2 this year so that way he can get 17 and break Ric Flair's record. I think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen at the Rumble. I'm going to go with AJ Styles.
But how will this happen at Mania? Like, everyone said, okay, it'll happen at Mania. Unless he wins it inside the Elimination Chamber, because we know it's announced that the WWE title will be online Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. So maybe they could have Cena win the belt at the Chamber, but that's not a big enough pay-per-view for him to win it, actually. But how else would he go into WrestleMania with the title? With the number one contendership? Because say for instance, a SmackDown guy, I know a Raw guy could win the Rumble, and then Cena could win some type of gimmick match to become the number one contender for the WWE title at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
forget, after Elimination Chamber, they still got another 3-4 weeks to build up to Mania.
Yeah, that's true, and
you could have the next.
I think it's more than that because I think it's like 6. I think it's 7-8 weeks because Raw have a Fastlane pay-per-view a month before Mania. But this is tough, and I think that AJ's earned at least. It's tough. It's tough. It's very difficult. And my brain is saying Cena because, again, they're a moment company. And they're like, Cena won that. What a moment at the Alamodome. Remember the Rumble 30th anniversary. And they'll want a title change. Thinking both Kevin Owens and AJ. But then what would AJ do? What would AJ do? No. Right. I'm going AJ Styles. And you'll understand why I'm going AJ Styles when I pick my prediction for the Royal Rumble. AJ Styles will win his WWE title match. My predictions. But damn, that's tough. And that's good that it's tough. It's damn good that this is tough. Very good job, WWE, for being unpredictable. I always say predictability sometimes is good. This is a top draw job on why unpredictability is good, because your unpredictableness makes me excited. It doesn't make me scared. It makes me excited. So good job, WWE. So I've got AJ. Who have you got?
I'm going with AJ.
Risky. We both went against Vince. He's probably put in his pay-per-view profits, and Vince will have Cena and Reigns, so sadly he'll win. And then it's the one we've all been waiting for, Boom Boom.
The Royal Rumble. Wow. To be honest, if it weren't for the Royal Rumble, I probably wouldn't really care all that much about this pay-per-view. Yeah, it'd be interesting, and I might check it out, but the Royal Rumble is what completely sweetens the pot for me, which makes it a must-see. So right now, 22 competitors have been named for the 30 positions. 22 out of 30 have been named. I'm just going to run down briefly here, so if you'll indulge me for a moment. In no particular order, they are Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, Undertaker, Dean Ambrose, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Luke Harper, Big Show, Sami Zayn, Big Cass, Rusev, and Mojo Rawley.
Oh,
Those are now 22 spots. And now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, they're going to have 8 surprises. No, I don't think they're going to have 8 surprises. In fact, I think by the time we get to the pre-show, they're going to name some more entrants in there. Okay, here's a few more people. And I think they're going to have about, if I had to guess, I would say a maximum of 3 quote-unquote surprise entrants.
I don't know, though, because when you mean surprise, so say they do 3 legends, they do a couple of NXT, they do a couple of the UK, they do a couple of Cruiserweights.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's fair. But what is your? Because you'll be shocked what I put. So who are you going for?
I honestly don't know. I'm having a tough time here. I've been thinking about it, and every time I think of somebody, I could come up with 10 different arguments of why that person shouldn't win. And then it's, well, why don't you go with one of the wild cards? Why don't you go with one of the the people returning? And I'm just like, I don't know I don't know if that's a lock. I don't know if who's going to who's going to be one of the surprise entrants. If it's somebody that they want a main event Mania with. I don't know. So I want you to go first. I'm going to have to try to make up my mind. Like in the 30 seconds it's going to take for you to lay out your case.
Okay, right. So before I do that, remember this, the Royal Rumble. So whoever wins, there's still another world title match. Just claim the Universal title as a world title.
Mm-hmm.
No, so there's 2 world titles of Mania. So that's why the brand split helps this pay-per-view so much, because whoever wins, that's not the be-all and end-all. Like last year, whoever won, that guy would main event Mania for sure. Here, if he wins, it means he's in a world title match, not main event. So you got to remember that into consideration. And B, I think the Rumble match, because this man will win, I think the Rumble match will take place before the 2 world title matches. I think that's what's going to go on. And my person who I think is going to win, everyone who watched the SmackDown Live review, you know who I'm going to say. The man who I've got written down here is none other than, if you build a sports damn motherfucking entertainer from the fucking ground to the fucking earth, you get Randy fucking Orton. My prediction is Randy Orton. Now listen up. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Now you're saying to me, okay, what are you fucking talking about? We're doing Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. The Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, Randy Orton will face Bray Wyatt. That's why last night on SmackDown, Bray's already turned on Luke Harper. At the Rumble, Randy Orton in a moment turns on Bray Wyatt and costs him. That way at Chamber, Bray Wyatt goes, look, Randy, you're a son of a bitch. I want to face you at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view for your Rumble spot. Orton says, yeah, okay. Orton then defeats Bray Wyatt. Orton, AJ, WrestleMania. Cena, Taker at Mania. Goldberg, Reigns, Kevin Owens, Jericho. Bingo. Brock Lesnar, don't know what to do with you. No clue. They could do Brock versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe versus Brock. But Orton is my pick. If it happens, you'll owe me money. If it doesn't, I look like an imbecile. But imagine that. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Imagine that. Damn. That is a dream of dreams. I will literally pre-cum so hard during their entrances, I think I'll have to take several packs of tissues.
Or they could basically pull a Benoit, and they could have it to where he challenges the champion for the other brand. So
I want Orton AJ. I want Orton AJ so damn bad.
Mm-hmm.
And Orton doesn't need that win, so it's a guy who can take the fall to AJ. And Orton will be turning babyface when he turns on Wyatt anyway. And you can go back to the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt program after Randy Orton's the champion. So you could do Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, and that's where Bray Wyatt can get his first world title.
You make a compelling argument, sir. I decided I'm just going to go. I'm going to roll the dice. I'm rolling the dice. This person's not been announced for the Royal Rumble. I think there's a strong possibility he's going to be in it. He is somebody that he's got a clear dance card. He's been cleared for a major push. And I guess I'm going to read the tea leaves, and I'm going to go with Samoa Joe.
You're going Samoa Joe. That's very interesting. If he doesn't come out,
if he doesn't come out, I'm fucked here. But
you get deducted points for being illegal. actually, if anyone puts in the comments Kenny Omega, you'll lose 10 points, which is the whole match card.
Yeah, I hear. By the way, I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second. Can I just say that I really hate the dirt sheets for bringing up Omega's name with the Royal Rumble. Will he be one of the surprise entrants, basically trying to generate, hits? I understand that's the point of having a website. You try to generate traffic because you got, you're trying to sell ads, and I understand that. But if you look at the facts, the man is still, whether he's re-signed with New Japan or not, he's still legally under contract until January 31st, which contractually he cannot do. He's also signed, he's actually scheduled to wrestle a match in Chile the same day as the Rumble. So
I think it's the day before. The day before.
It's like the weekend of. I don't know if he can get from Chile to San Antonio, for one, in time, two, be able to be hidden and dressed out and have a coherent match and go out there. I don't think he could. I don't know if he can logistically do it.
Dude, he's working them. He's working them, and New Japan are probably paying him to work them. Because think about it, every time we talk about Kenny Omega, it's Omega versus Okada. Someone types that into Google.
Yeah, I know that. You know that. But all these other dirt sheets and some of these, fans who want to stir the pot go, well, is it going to be Kenny Omega? Is it going to be Kenny Omega? Like, no, it's not going to be Kenny Omega. I mean, the man had a hell of a match at Wrestle Kingdom, and just because he doesn't show up at the WWE does not make him a failure as an athlete.
You know what? Do you really think Vince McMahon gave a fuck if Okada had a good match with Omega? Omega had a good match with Okada. Do you really think he gives a fuck? No, he does not. He doesn't. How long? He knew about AJ for about 6-7 years on the mainstream till he finally got brought in. Omega for a month, and now Omega's going to WWE. I don't see that. I personally want him to stay in New Japan and take New Japan to the next level in the United States. I want to support New Japan and not support the Big E, because I'm not a fan of the Big E. I cover it because I have to. It's the duties of Kocosports is obviously cover WWE. And I just wish that people would be like, you know what? I love Kenny Omega. I've really enjoyed his match with Okada. Where can I see more of Kenny Omega? Okay, he's in New Japan. Okay, he's on the New Japan pay-per-view in a couple of months. Okay, cool. I'm going to check that New Japan pay-per-view out. Instead, people are going, Kenny Omega, I hope he's at the Royal Rumble. Let's get to NXT. No, he's too good for NXT. Let's get to WWE. It's like, dude, you've seen him in one match. No. Please. Like, we make it a rule that we do not talk about fans on this show. That's one of the rules. But we're going to break them right now because it's unfair on other promotions who are working hard not to be competitors, to be good alternatives, and they're not getting the deserving and the praise they get because it's not WWE. Yes, WWE is a good company and it's where the money's at, but Kenny Omega's probably making a good damn buck or two in New Japan. It's very, very sad, but it's one of the rules we won't break. And if you want to go to a proper website, if you want to come in the proper website, go to Kocosports.net. You will not find rumors or gossip. What you'll find there is fact. Today I posted an article about Batista, about him saying how he got screwed over. That is a fact because he said it. I uploaded an article about Ric Flair getting the statue. That's a fact because the person creating the statue put it on Facebook. I put ECW legend Sabu. He destroyed verbally the Hall of Fame. I uploaded that because it's a fact. You'll not find rumors, dirt, or bullshit on Kocosports.net. That's why it should be favorited and be your homepage when you hit the Google button. Oh, what's our little pick 'em questions?
All right, our tiebreaker questions. I think we need to have everything done here in the Rumble. I want everybody to tell me. All right, name me
the number.
Okay, yeah. What number will win the Royal Rumble?
I'm going number 23. I have no idea why I picked that. No idea at all.
I'm going to go 26.
26. 26.
Who will spend the shortest time in the Rumble?
Oh, dude, I'm not getting a fucking stopwatch out. What happens if no one gets eliminated really quickly? Like, that's not a guarantee, and then I have to rewatch it with a stopwatch.
Dude, they always have one guy that gets in and gets his ass knocked right the fuck back out.
But what happens if there isn't this year? I'm going to have to go back with a fucking calculator and go, okay, oh, that was 10.5 seconds, or that was 12.5, or, oh, that was a minute and a half, or that was 2 minutes. Be a bit fair when it comes to that.
Okay, dude, I'll be a little bit more. Okay, name me one, name me one WWE legend they always have one, who will be that one legend to show up?
Jerry Lawler.
You have Jerry Lawler? Okay.
What's yours?
I'm going to say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, do you think Stone Cold? Fuck me, so if that happens,
they're in tech. I was going to say Shawn Michaels. Well, it could be Shawn Michaels because it's his hometown, San Antonio.
Do you know what? I reckon it will, but I'm sticking with Jerry Lawler because I think Lawler's going to toss out Dolph Ziggler.
Okay, I'm going to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin. All right, I'm going to also name me one NXT superstar who will debut at the Rumble. You already know mine.
I'm going Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. I tell you what, let's sweeten the pot. Let's take out Samoa Joe because everybody feels like that's a given. Name me another NXT superstar who could debut.
What happens if he's the only one though? I go Ty Dillinger.
By the way, it's been reported by, I think it's PWI. It was somebody somebody reported. I apologize, I forgot right now, but I just now remembering this. NXT, all the NXT roster is supposed to be backstage for the Royal Rumble, so anybody can debut, anybody can show up. So if you start hearing rumors, well, I saw so and so at the backstage in the Alamo Dome at the Royal Rumble, yeah, because everybody in NXT is supposed to be there. They've been told to be there. So
that's a good article, Booms. I'm gonna already type that up. Breaking news: Samoa Joe spotted backstage. Breaking news: Samoa Joe just took a dump.
No, it's gonna be like breaking news. Oh God, what's his name?
It would be really bad clickbait. So like breaking news: a major NXT superstar reported backstage during the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. They always do that clickbait, isn't it? It's fun.
I'm gonna do another gamble case. The NXT superstar who I think will show up at the Rumble, not named Samoa Joe, not Finn Balor. I'm gonna go Hideo Itami.
That's a fair shout, and we reported on Kocosports.net that Hideo Itami is cleared to compete, so that is a possibility. That is a big possibility. But then there's also a possibility Hideo Itami versus Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT TakeOver Orlando. That's another possibility. So damn, I might have to go back and change. I can't change my NXT TakeOver pay-per-view prickums. In the live comments now, is there anyone who's played the pay-per-view profits, or are they all waiting till post-live again like TakeOver?
I think we've got a few picks in here. You have to look.
Sweet. I'll read their names, and I'll write them
down. Let's see. Tyler Dillon. He's already got his. I think he's got his picks.
Tyler Dillon. Yeah, Dillon.
Yeah, he's kind of getting some stuff in there. They're taking guesses of who it could be, and that's about it.
So no one actually played pay-per-view profits like properly.
No, not properly.
Okay, cool. I can scratch the name off. But please, Tyler Dillon, once this broadcast has ended, put your prediction on all of them. We're only asking you to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 things in the comments. That's it. And you have a chance to be the Kocosports Royal Rumble pay-per-view profits to win nothing. But you know what? It's not about that.
You know what? I even mentioned it. So here's another tiebreaker. Will Chris Jericho find a way to interfere from the shark cage? Yes or no?
That's a yes. He's not going to sit up there. He's not going to sit up there like I'm Christian. Like what is it? A sexy pinata, or what the imbecile said.
All right. Well,
is there any actual comments, as in questions in the live comments?
Let me take a look here. I haven't seen. No, there's no proper questions.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone who joined us live.
Fran Yelly. Fran Yelly has been playing properly. I apologize, Fran Yelly. He's been.
All right, read him out. I'll write him down.
Okay, let's see. The Club,
Okay.
Sasha Banks,
Yep.
Neville,
Yep.
Charlotte,
Yep.
Reigns, Cena, and he has not picked one for the women's match. He just said Nikki's a whore. So I don't know if that means he's picking for her or against her.
Fuck. Nikki's a horse. So we'll go faces because that means Nikki. And then it was Neville, wasn't it? Neville.
Yes.
Then it was Charlotte.
Yes.
And then it was Reigns.
Yes.
Then it was Cena.
Yes.
And who's the Rumble winner? Please don't tell me he hasn't put that.
Let's see. He agreed with you on Orton versus AJ. He says on Orton versus AJ as well.
Fran Yelly, put in the comments your Rumble winner and the 3 tiebreakers. I can't have a half-filled table.
He's actually predicting that Kurt Angle will be there in some capacity, that James Ellsworth won't make it long in the Rumble if he shows up.
So his legend is Kurt Angle, so that's number 2 tiebreaker. Yeah. Kurt Angle, that's a good shout. Oh, so Franielli, well, I need to you can Facebook me.
Yes. And by the way, for clarification, Franielli just wrote in saying that yes, he is predicting Nikki's team will win.
Okay, that's cool. So Franielli, right now, pick who you want to win the Rumble, the number who, even if it's not, pick a number on who you think could win the Rumble, and who from NXT do you think will debut at Royal Rumble. And if you want, again,
that is not named Samoa Joe.
It's not named Jojo. And if you want to be on this, all you have to do, post live in the comments, put it, and then I'll write your name down, and then you could possibly have a potential chance to win pay-per-view profits.
All right, Tyler Dillon, okay. Tyler Dillon, okay. He wants to know what the tiebreakers are. I was going to say, name me one legend who's going to show up at the Royal Rumble, and one NXT superstar not named Samoa Joe who will debut at the Royal Rumble.
Okay, so just again, if you're listening live, we're just getting some pointers just from the Internet Infantry on their pay-per-view pick'ems, which is why we're not really finishing it, because we want to wait till they get theirs in, because it's a very interactive channel here, which is why you hit the subscribe button. We're very interactive like this, and we always get to live comments, and not a lot of YouTubers actually get to live comments. So
Franielli is also predicting that Nakamura will be that debut.
Okay, so Nakamura. That's cool. The NXT dude. That's cool. So I still need the Rumble winner, Franielli, as well as the number. Just pick a random number who you think could win the Rumble from that.
The number you think is going to win. Because, who knows? Even if because this is actually kind of good, because you can still kind of win even if your pick doesn't win. If you just happen to pick the right one. So number 23.
It'll be exciting. I've got 23, and Booms has 26.
I've got 26. All right, again, I'm going to go back over it again. Chauncey Bullock says the club wins the Raw Tag Team Championships. This is kind of like, I think he's going to go with AJ Styles. This is Chauncey Bullock.
Chauncey, when the thing's finished, just go in order from Wikipedia, and the 3 pick'em questions are the number, what legend, and what number 3 is what NXT star will return.
All right. Franielli says Orton is his pick, and he's going to pick pick number 21.
21, okay. That's cool. That's Franielli. Is the first person to have his name filled out on the list.
All right, let me go down here. Let me look at Chauncey Bullock, because I saw him next. He's got the club.
Yeah. Has he got other ones?
Yeah, he's got AJ Styles. I'm just looking for Chauncey here. He still thinks Kenny Omega is going to make a surprise appearance.
Dude, right, if Kenny Omega comes out, I will give a shout out to Chauncey Bullock on my Facebook and my Twitter, saying follow him.
There you go. His pick for legend is HBK, and his NXT pick is Ty Dillinger.
Fair.
Actually, no, scratch that. I read the wrong name. Scratch HBK and Dillinger. Scratch those. That's Tyler Dillinger.
I have. Has he given the result who he thinks for the Sasha Banks match, the 6-woman, the Cruiserweight?
No,
See, I will only write them down if you give everyone. You can't just say, oh yeah, I think Owens will win. You have to give every prediction. So Chauncey, once you've finished watching this show, just go to Wikipedia and just say, okay, cool, write it down on a piece of paper, then just type it in your phone or your laptop, just pop it in, and then you have a chance to be the pay-per-view prophet.
All right. Tyler Dillon is the last one I'm going to do here.
Has he done all of them?
Yeah, I believe he has. I'm looking here.
Okay, cool. I'm writing his name, so did he definitely do it?
Let me see.
Check.
No.
Okay,
He's
cool.
picked
So
like half of them.
Okay, that's cool.
He's picked like half of. He's got a few. So we're just gonna have to wait.
Okay, cool. Anything else you want to do before we go off air?
I'll just get your picks in. You have until the pay-per-view starts to get your picks in, and let's just get it and have some fun. Of course, LK will be joined by Sammy for the paper review coming up immediately following the Royal Rumble.
It'll be 20 minutes after the Royal Rumble finishes because I'm going around my friend's house to watch it. Sammy's having a party, so he's got to kick all his friends out. I've got to walk back and come in here and set up. So 20 minutes after the Rumble finishes, so you have time to go for a piss, have a quick shower, grab yourself a coffee and some biscuits because it's going to be a long one for me and Sammy to come out here and review the Royal Rumble. And let's just pray we come on here and be positive. I'm going to go record a show for my Patreon pledges. I'm going to record the NXT review. Go back and check out our free NXT Takeover prediction show. The reason, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing the NXT review for Patreons is because Booms didn't watch NXT, but I did, so I thought I'll just do it there. Normally, every single week, all the shows, the reviews are always free, minus a few shows that I do for Patreon. The Patreon shows are more personal. You get to know me more. I talk more about work, my friends, my family, as well as pro wrestling, and do classical content reviews, as well as take suggestions on and recommendations from what people do. So check out the Patreon, and also check out Kocosports.net, because I'm working harder than a Pensacola stripper on that site.
All right. With that being said, check us out, Kocosports.com, Kocosports.net. Like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And the boom just went bang, and I am out.